Welcome to Healing Generations, a podcast creating a dialogue uplifting the importance of healing, strengthening, and supporting our communities, and that addresses the disparities and inequities in communities of color. Healing Generations is brought to you by the Healing Generations Institute, a collaborative initiative of the National Compadres Network and the Brotherhood of Elders. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on our new releases.
Hello and welcome to the youth portion of the Healing Generations podcast. My name is Alejandro Berensosuna and I am the co-host alongside Ariel Jimenez. As always, we are honored to sit in Palabra with you all. Today we have a very special guest, one of our very own youth fellows, Girasol graduate, and recently high school alumni, Luisa Medina, here today to share her story. Before we get to her, I'm going to be passing the Palabra to my co-host. Ariel, what's going on? How's life? You following the World Cup?
Life is good. And yes, actually, I just came back from one of the first games here in Santa Clara. So I am doing good. A lot of people just showing a lot of appreciation for culture, a lot of appreciation for people all over the world. And you know what? We have Luisa Medina today, who we've known for a couple years and are excited to kind of introduce her to the world, to introduce her to our network. So it's a good start. It's a good start to the month. It's a good start to the mid-year, to the summer, and I'm ready to roll. So Luisa, you know how we do things, how we do circle, how we do things even culturally, right? When we go to our relative's house, we kind of say hi to everybody. And like Maestro Jerry likes to say, sometimes it takes us 30 minutes to an hour to get into the door. So we want to start off with a conocimiento. Who is Luisa? Who arrived? What is it about you that you want to share with us?
Well, for starters, I am a sister, I'm a daughter, a student, basically, still, and a granddaughter and a hardworking girl. And today, I want to let everyone know that, regardless of how many things you can have in life, if there's something holding you back, you can always achieve your goals with a amount of support that you can have,
No, 100%, man. Thank you for sharing that. I've gotten to know you a little bit throughout the years and then reintroduce myself. It's good seeing you again. I had the privilege of being at your graduation a couple weeks ago, so a big congrats on that. I just want to ask you, it's a big transition from being in school all day, every day for the past 12 years to now being an alumni. How's that going for you right now?
Right now, it feels good. It feels amazing. But now I'm just what am I going to do now? I know college is next. I already applied and everything. But I'm not going to start until next year.
Mm.
But right now, I'm just living life, I could say.
So what is it about life that you're enjoying the most? Because I want to just lift you up for a second. You just finished a 13-year commitment. I think when people think high school and they think you got your high school diploma, they just think the 4 years in high school. But this is kindergarten, first grade. So it's a big accomplishment. And I know for a lot of us, we do summer school. We don't have no daycare at home. So it's we kind of get forced into summer school. So this is probably your first year, no summer school, no other responsibilities. What is it about life that you're enjoying the most?
What I'm enjoying the most is just spending time with my mom, with my little brother. I'm trying to regain all that missing time with them that I couldn't have, especially when I was in school, or just stressing out if I wasn't going to graduate or not. So life is good right now, so I'm chilling.
Yeah, no, I get that too. I miss those summers, those transition points of okay, I could take my time deciding what I'm going to do next. So I'm going to rewind us for a little bit. And I want you taking your time on this answer. Think about the first time you got connected to National Compadres Network, first time you got connected to Girasol, first time that you sat in circle. How did that invitation go your way? And what made you show up?
When I firstly got introduced to Girasol, I was going through a rough time, not gonna lie. I mean, when aren't I? But it was one of those moments that, man, I really needed a way to heal or something just to be able to express my feelings. And Citlali and Caitlin, they introduced me into it. And our first circle, I sat there and I was just what am I doing here? I feel like I don't belong here.
Mhm.
But then I looked around me and I saw other girls, like, not saying that they had a similar like situation as me, but I knew that I wasn't the only one struggling with like mental health, things at home, or whatever the cause may be. Like, I was, like, I wasn't different from other people. And our first circle that we had, like, I felt like, those tiny pieces that were broken in my heart, like, were slowly but surely, like, getting, like, fixed in
Mhm.
some way that I didn't even know. But yeah.
So I do want to shout out something you said, and it was the feeling of not belonging and then realizing everyone else probably felt that way too. Yeah, I feel like you talk about group in a way that a lot of us are scared to talk about it. So I know like we do these all the time, and whenever we talk about group, people are like, it was life changing, and I walked in and immediately felt welcomed and this and that. And that could have been your truth, but acknowledging the discomfort in it is also healing. So I just want to shout out what you said right there because that touched me because I felt the same way when I first sat in group. When it comes to Girasol, it is a longer curriculum than Joven Noble. It is a lot more in depth than Joven Noble. So I want to ask, how was that journey for you to kind of have to like really piece yourself apart and then put yourself back together in this 16-week program?
It was difficult because like I said, like, I always have something going on.
Mm.
And I, part of half of those like 16 weeks, I just stopped going because, of course, like, things happened. But after I saw that, like, man, like, I can't do this by myself, like, I need something, I immediately jumped back, searched for Caitlin and Citlali, and I told them, I'm like, I'll come back. I'll try to transition from my problems to you guys in a way that, like, baby steps, basically.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
took baby steps and I went back, and of course, Citlali and Caitlin, they always have their arms open and they're always there to support me whenever I need them. So thankful for them.
Mm.
But yeah.
Within the Girasol program or circle, was there a lesson that you felt like really like clung to you where you're like, damn, this lesson changed me in a way I didn't expect it to change me?
It was this one circle where, I kid you not, Caitlin started crying too. And I felt her pain because, when you have so much things, it was a topic about being busy and not paying attention on how your family members or your loved ones feel of you
Mhm.
being busy. And, you have one person can have so much going on, and you may think, oh, like, because I have this going on, I can't hang out with that person or I can't be with that person because of my problems or whatever. But there was a way how Kaylin expressed it. She was like, regardless of how many things you can have in the world or on your plate or whatever the cause may be, you can always make time for your significant other or for your loved ones so you can feel happy and you can feel safe. And it clicked to me so fast because I always pushed away from people. Like, I distanced myself when things were rough, and I
Mhm.
distanced myself a lot from school. And a part of that just, she hit me where, like, I mainly needed it to hit.
Mhm.
And then I walked out of circle with like tears in my eyes, and I was just like, damn. I'm like, Caitlin, like, I didn't know we were gonna cry today. But yeah,
No, with Caitlin, you always got to be ready to cry, man. She
I
she just be
know.
dropping little nuggets of like wisdom at the randomest times, and it's like, how did you know I needed to hear that right now? So I feel you on that one. And life be lifing. So there's a lot like trying to maneuver through life. It's like you're gonna get hit left and right. So sometimes you do feel guilty when you're not intentionally making time to connect with people that you love. Pivoting from Girasol, you got invited to participate in our fellowship. And it's hard, right? Like we feel bad because in the academic year, we might have about anywhere from 30 to 50 young people go through Joven Noble or Girasol, and during the summer we only have 6 fellows and 6 fellowships. But you were selected, and you decided to say yes. And then, you came and had a job with us, and we try to make it as fun as possible. But looking back at that summer, what is your fondest memory? What was the highlight of that summer? What was the highlight of the fellowship? And I have a follow-up question, but we'll start there.
I think during the summer last year, it was, it was different because I worked with people that went to my school that I was just like, oh, like some of them I did know, but other people, it was just like, oh, like I seen you, but I don't know how your vibes are, which kept me shut because their vibes were completely different. And a memory that like I'll forever cherish and everything would be that when we went to San Francisco State, and me and Nat went to the gift shop and we got Stanley together. I got a green one and she got a purple one. And she was just all happy because she's like, what? Like, I've never had a Stanley with anyone, this and this and that. Like, really? Like, like, we just got close out of nowhere from there. And I could say that's my Shayla right there. And and something else, I mean, it was a lot of growth. It's a lot of growth, a lot of patience. But it was amazing. I loved it so much.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick on that growth part for a second, because I think it's true when you become coworkers, when you share in the space, when there's 10 plus people in the office, like there's gonna be that annoyance. There's gonna be the like, why are you touching my stuff? Hey, I was just sitting there. You want to go eat there? Well, I want to go eat over here during lunch. And like, it turns into family, and you're not always gonna be on good terms with family, even though, like, what does my partner say? I will always love you. I may not like you right now. So there's always that. But growth, before I start talking about my traumas over here.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Growth. Like, looking into that summer, what was the biggest growth point for you that you were really proud of?
I was really proud of the way how I stopped, like, defending people from their own drama. Like, I always had the habit of, like, regardless if it's not my drama, like, I'm always gonna get in. And Siklali, she, like, caught me right there where I needed it. And she told me, she's like, you need to stop with the attitude. You need to stop with the high temper and everything. Because if you know me, I have a very high temper. And when people tell me to shut up, I don't shut up. But when Siklali told me, like, you need to focus on yourself instead of focusing on other people that are not going to help you later on when you're struggling. And from that thoughtful message that she sent me, like, I started, like, not being mean to people. I still am a little bit when people need it.
Rightfully so.
But
I support it.
But rightfully so. But I have some growth in me that a lot of people noticed that they're like, oh, like, you're not grumpy anymore. Like, what's going on? And everything. And I'm just like, I'm not the same person I was last year. Like, you can't be stuck up on something that isn't your drama or isn't your problem. So kind of grew there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all about that shift in perspective, So it's not necessarily being like, don't talk or don't say how you're feeling, but it's how can you use your voice in a way that doesn't cause harm to others and to yourself, I relate to that a lot. Ariel knows it. I speak before I think sometimes, and then I see it on people's faces, and I'm like, oh, man, I need to fix that.
You're like, my bad.
Yeah. I'm like, just get over it. I'm on the way. So I really relate to what you're saying right there. Going backwards a little bit, I want to talk about Foothill. You are a recent alumni from there. So a really big congratulations on graduating. I want to ask you, I'm sure that was a journey within itself. What made Foothill so different for you that you're like, this is the place I'm going to graduate from?
I feel like what made it different was I looked at everyone. Don't get me wrong. I looked at everyone and I was just like, how are they the same as me? Like, I always had in my head, I'm different than them. And in reality, I was different in my own ways, but I was the same in how everyone was, like skipping class, doing this, doing that, doing things that I wasn't supposed to be doing. And of course, the support that that school has is 10 times different than the regular high school.
Mm.
Like the principal, Ms. Ramirez, like, dude, there's no words that can explain how grateful I am for her. It's just the environment, the teachers, everything is way more different. It's supporting, it's fulfilling. Like, it makes you want to go to school. Except for, like, some parts, I didn't want to go to school because some teachers were just mean and rude, which is a different story for a different day, you know? But food would always be my home.
Yeah, that's for the second podcast. We'll talk about the
Yeah.
haters then.
That's for the after hours.
Yes. But, focusing on that, because not every experience, not every school, not every teacher has that same impact. And often we focus on the negative, just how you were saying, right? There's some teachers that you're like, no, they didn't make it motivating to come to school. You talked about Ms. Ramirez, but is there someone on campus that really supported you through like the thickest of it? And do you want to give them their flowers?
I would give it to Mr. Mendoza. At first, man, like I was scared because everyone would tell me different things about him, and I would be like, "Oh, okay." But when I sat in class, and I had a class with Nat too. We were both in that same class together, and people think he's mean because the way how he teaches, but in reality, he just cares about his students.
Mm.
And a part of me that like stuck with me would always be his speech on every Friday after class. He would always give us a motivational speech on how to be safe, how things go wrong in less of a second. And it would always, stick with me because you know how many students like a la noche a la mañana, they go bye-bye or whatever the cause may be. And he loves the students so much.
Mm.
And even though like I was in his class for like a year, and I went through a rough time. Like, he was the only teacher who, like, mailed me a letter telling me that I was in his prayers, that he missed me being in class and everything. And that really touched my heart. So it's flowers to him always, and he'll always be my favorite teacher.
That's super cool, man. Those strict teachers get a bad rap, but to me, it just shows like they actually care about you, It's that tough love that a lot of us need and don't get. So thank you for sharing. I want to ask you to really sit within yourself right now. If you could go back in time to 4 years ago, when Luisa was just starting this journey of high school and all this stuff, what's one piece of advice you would want to give her?
I feel like I would have told her, don't pick the wrong path. Don't hang out with people that are just going to bring you down and lead you to places that you don't want to be led to. And to always respect and honor your parents, even if they're wrong and you think you're right.
I like the part that you just said. Don't pick the wrong people to take you to a path that you don't want to be on. Because we don't really realize that we're on a journey the entire time.
Yeah.
We're just going at it step by step until we're at a destination. We're like, how do we get here?
Yeah.
So that's hard. Thinking about that journey, though, and that path, and even the roads that we wish we wouldn't have taken. Can you talk about maybe one of the obstacles that you had to overcome that you feel comfortable talking about? And what was that journey like?
There is one obstacle in particular that, it still is, there. I'm still, like, trying to, like, get over with it. But if there's an obstacle, it's always been my grandma being in between of my things. Like, it's been a 19-year journey with her. Like, she's always in and out of hospital, so I don't blame her. But an obstacle is that I try to be patient. I try to ask God, like, give me clarity, give me a clear path, give me a right mind to just sit there and be able to go along with my dreams and with my success. There was a time not too long ago, actually, way before graduation, I was pissed at God because I was just like, damn, like, you see that, like, my graduation is literally tomorrow and you're doing me like this. And kid you not, at 1 a.m, they called me. They told me that she was intubated. And I was pissed. I was so mad. I was like, damn, like, I told you not to, and you're giving me this on the other hand. And I was at the point where crying, sitting there with my mom, telling her, like, no, like, God doesn't want to listen to me. He's just giving up on me and everything. And my mom clocked me where I needed to be clocked, to be honest. She kind of hit me on the head, too. She was just like, you can never doubt your faith in God because he has never doubted your faith in him. And I was just like, but where is he when I need him? And she was just like, he's everywhere, hearing you and testing your faith. But if you give up on him, nothing's going to relate to how you want it. And in the back of my head, walked to graduation, eye bags and everything, zero sleep, walked there, got my diploma, went back to the hospital, and the next day my grandma was getting off of intubation. And a sign of relief felt like, damn, I felt it. He heard me, but also it showed me that, like, I should never doubt on his, like, you know, his word or what he does. So now I just try to be closer to God and try to give patience to my grandma and see where it leads me. So that's one of my obstacles. She's always my little chicle.
That's my sister's nickname at our house, Little Chicle. So I love that. You know, I want to take a moment right there because you shared a lot and you shared a lot of meaningful things. So I want to just hold that because you went from the different things that you had to maneuver in supporting grandma to then questioning your faith to then being reminded that no, Creator's always there with us, listening, watching, supporting, sometimes from a distance, sometimes feeling very present. And sometimes it's at the most inconvenient times. So it's like you're getting ready to celebrate and cross the stage, and it's supposed to be a beautiful moment. And at the most inconvenient time is where you have to face one of these obstacles again, otra vez.
Yeah.
And I think that's the frustrating part. Otra vez, why me?
Yeah.
I was listening to the Pivot podcast, and I remember him saying that. He said, I was questioning, why do I keep going through life this way when other people ain't? And then he said, I went from, God, how can you do this? To then, damn, God, how did you do this? Because then he was able to overcome everything he overcame. What made you show up to graduation knowing that you had every excuse to not show up and people wouldn't have blamed you because you're dealing with real life situations? And I remember getting that text message of she might not make it and just being like super like sad, frustrated, but being like, no, she has a good reason. But what made you show up?
The reason why I showed up was because she told me, she's like, no, like, Luisa, like, you did so much, you overcame so much, like, just for you not to go, like, this is your moment. Like, she told me, she was like, your grandma knows that today is your day. I understand it's hard for you and everything, but it doesn't matter, Luisa. Like, this is your time to shine, your time to prove to everyone that regardless of how long it took you, like, you're gonna cross that stage, and don't do it for no one, do it for you. And then once you're done, go home and change and give your grandma your diploma and tell her that this is yours. And kid you not, I went, got my diploma, left, cried my butt off on the way home, went back to the hospital and gave it to my grandma, even though she was sedated, but I still gave it to her.
The way I would have walked in, waving it. I'm proud. I remember seeing you show up, and my mom was hella looking for you. Where's Luisa? I was like, she's right there. Go get her. And everyone was just so happy to see you there. And I hope you were able to feel that, because we were all just like breath of relief when we saw you come in and looking the way you did, excited to receive your diploma. So again, just a really, like, I can't say it enough. Congratulations for you. Like, that is such a big achievement to be able to say, I walked that stage. So I want to ask you, you've asked about when it comes to within school, who was that person that walked with you? Within your faith, who was that person that walked with you? And I want to ask, in your life, if there's someone that you feel like you could not have gotten here without them, who's that one person you want to lift up?
Not a cheese on her or anything, but it would be Nat. Like, regardless of the fact we just met, we literally met in the classroom hating the teacher the same way. But I never expected her to just, I don't know, just express this type of love that, man, like, I've never felt in the friendship. Like, she's been the only realist friendship I ever had, besides my other mutuals or whatever. But, like, she's my best friend, my sister, my everything. And she supported me way along with my health journey, with my family problems, with me just being a dumb person sometimes, just having my moments or whatever. She'd be telling me, Luisa, like, you're dumb, like, don't be doing that. And it's just her, like, it's a sister that I really never had. So much love to her, and I thank her for everything that she does for me.
I had a feeling you were going to say Nat, and I'm like, ooh, if she doesn't say Nat, no.
Ariel's like, I thought you were going to say me. I'm really sad right now.
No, it's Nat. I got love for Nat, man. Nat is the person that if I'm going to war, I want her by my side. Because she's going to fight for you. Even when you're not in the room, she's got your back. Like, so I do want to give Nat her flowers, because like I'm now seeing her growth coming into like being a young professional and going from like a youth participant to now a co-facilitator. And she's all about advocating, and she has no issue saying, I was in those shoes, and I would hope someone would back me up the way I want to back them up right now. So I'll give it to you 100%, man. That's someone I would go to war with any day. And then thinking about just life, right? Like your daily motivations, like what gets you up in the morning, what keeps you pushing forward? Because I know your journey, and I know school wasn't easy, and I know those teachers weren't the friendliest, and I know sometimes friends were there and then they were not, or sometimes they will pop back in and they're asking you how you're doing, but they're just waiting for you to ask it back so they could unload, right? So I know it can get heavy, but what gets you motivated? What's making you right now push forward and looking into the future?
What's like, motivating me to move forward? It's my little brother. Like, he just finished elementary, and, like, he was there for my big success, and I was there for his. And my main priority is showing him that if he's struggling and he needs help, to speak, not to stay quiet and to keep everything reserved. So seeing him, like, looking at me as a role model really gives me that step to, like, man, like, I have to be better. I have to wake up, be a better person, have a better mindset, can't be the same person that had poor decisions or whatever. Because kid you not, like, siblings see what you go through. Siblings adapt to the environment that you give off to them. Sometimes it's not your parents, sometimes it's not, oh, like, my mom did this. No, it's because my sister did this or my brother did this. Like, I don't want him to fall into the same path that I fell in. Like, I show him, I'm like, okay, like, I finished high school, like, I'm going to college, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And he's like, okay, I support you. Like, you got this. Or like, you got this, Lily, I believe in you. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, not too much now, but okay. So my motivation is my little brother, for sure, always.
I mean, it goes back to those 4 concepts of what it means to be a person of your word, And one of them is be a positive example for yourself and others. And I think about that whenever I think of my 12-year-old niece who looks at me every day, even with judgment most days, because I don't know all her slang words and stuff. But I always think, like, I really hope I'm being the example that she wants to be when she grows up. And she really is my motivator in life to do better. So I 100% agree with you when it comes to, youth being the ones that help us stay on track most of the time. So I want to ask you a question as we're getting closer to the end here. It's one of my favorite questions. I ask it every single podcast. I'm still waiting for my shirt, Ariel. It's been 5 years now.
And counting.
And counting. If you had a microphone, and this microphone, the whole world could hear what you're about to say into this microphone, what's one issue you would like to lift up?
An issue would be, you know how many students in the world, like, some of them are honored to have papers and some of them are not. Being illegal and everything, too, that's not easy. It's hard. And for the people that like to be mean and they like to think just because you, like, I have papers, I'm this and that, like, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, like, your parents crossed the border for you to give you a better life. And just because the kids that don't have papers or the people that don't have papers aren't having the same lifestyle as you, like, yeah, they're struggling, but it doesn't give you the right or the honor to sit there and make them feel worse or scaring them. Mm-hmm. So if you're a hater and you like being like that, then your life will never be happy. Mm. But if you're a respectful person and you show support and love, you will always get the path that you want with the support that you get from God and from everyone else.
No, I appreciate you lifting that up because I don't think a lot of us take that into account, right? Especially right now with the political climate, the false narrative of like they're only sending their criminals.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people that graduated with their high school diploma that because they don't have a social security number or a 9 little digit on a piece of paper, they can't go out there and get a job, even like working in the food industry. And I had to experience that coming out of high school. Even coming out of college, DACA didn't come into effect until after I graduated. So I feel that struggle. And a lot of the times we don't know that those students are sitting right next to us. They just hide it out of fear. Right. So I do appreciate that. I also just appreciate the conversation because I'm looking at our future leaders right here that are like going to go into the workforce. Like I heard you say college. I heard you say all of this. And I'm excited for our future because there's going to be some powerful warriors at the table in the community with degrees doing their thing. So I want to ask you one of my final questions. We asked you, what would you say to freshmen, Luisa? Right. So we asked you to go back in time. Now we're going to ask you to jump to the future time. What do you think that you're going to be able to accomplish that you're going to be most proud of when you look into the future?
I will be most proud of that I'm able to like help people in the hospitals, be able to stand by them when a nurse is being rude or a CNA is just being messed up. Regardless of the fact, like, yeah, my title will be respiratory therapist, but doesn't stop me from having the voice, doesn't stop me from vouching for a patient that can't get cleaned or isn't getting the medical treatment that they need. So in 5 or 30 years from now, my happiness is going to be that I helped patients that were scared to use their voice to ask for help.
Okay, respiratory therapist.
I heard that. Dropped the title and everything. He said business card in the making.
Manifesting. I just want to give a really big thank you today, Luisa. You know, you came in today. You opened up. You're very vulnerable with us today. This was such a good plática. Like, it was really an honor to be able to sit here with you today to get to know you a little bit more about your story. We are coming to the end, so I am going to pass it off to you and Ariel. Are there any last couple of words you would like to say? Anything you would like to share? I'll pass it to Luisa first, and then I'll pass it to you, Ariel.
If there's something I like to say, it would be NCN will always be my home, will forever be my second home. And a big thank you to Mario and Miss Bossa for always being my number one parents. Like, I have my biological parents, but they were also like my parents. So love you guys.
I'm gonna make sure they listen to that part.
Yep.
They better listen to it. AB, you better tell them to listen.
I will. Ariel, any final words?
You know, my final words are not to our listeners, but to you, Luisa. I'm proud of you. I see how much work you put into school. I see how much work you put into yourself. And even as I'm saying this, like, I'm crying because I love you that much. But I just want to tell you, like, I'm truly proud of all the growth, the dedication, the hard work. Like, no one ever sees behind the curtain. No one ever sees the battles that you fight while you're alone. But I did see you overcome some big battles, and I'm just proud of you. And I can't wait for you to advocate for people. Like, people are truly going to have a better life because they have you in their life. So proud of you. And I got a lot of love for you.
Thank you. Love you too, big bro.
All right. Thank you both. I'm going to cut it off before we all start crying. Again, a big thank you to my co-host, Ariel Jimenez, for always being here with me, doing this Platica with me. Big thank you to you, Luisa, for coming on today, joining us, even if it was just for a couple of minutes. We're going to have another Platica after this so we could hear more stories, the after hour part. A big thank you to our listeners for joining us here today for the youth portion of the Healing Generations podcast. You keep updated on us on our social media at Facebook at the National Compadres Network and on Instagram at La Cultura Cura. And yeah, thank you. Have a good day. Go watch the World Cup series and stay safe out there.
For more information about Healing Generations and the Healing Generations Institute, visit nationalcompadresnetwork.org and be sure to subscribe to stay up to date with our new releases.